Hey everyone, I'm Jimmy,
I'm Brian.
and welcome to The Basement, our very first podcast. So, to start off, let's talk about some news on campus. We've heard some rumors swirling around campus about the popular app Yik Yak and its inappropriate usage at Marist. In fact, there was an article in the Marist Circle recently written about the inappropriate usage of Yik Yak. The SGA has also had multiple meetings regarding limiting the use of Yik Yak. Brian, you got anything to add about that?
So far we haven't seen any news regarding the banning of Yik Yak on campus, so people can keep posting all the yaks they want. Transitioning from Yik Yak, though, we're back from Thanksgiving break, and that only means one thing. It's final season, folks. And today we have 4 people here with us today who are going to tell us a little bit about their experience with finals and how they're feeling about it right now.
I'm feeling a little nervous because I'm a freshman and this is the first time that we'll be having finals, but so far I've only had one announced and just like papers right now and presentations, so I'm good.
I'm Ava. I'm a sophomore, so I'm pretty used to finals and how they work. So I have a few presentations, one final project for a digital fashion class, and then I also have more just final exams. So I'm a little stressed because we only have like 2 weeks left, and there's a lot going on, but it is what it is.
I'm Brady, and I'm not too stressed at all. I usually am somebody who gets pretty stressed, but I'm not stressed whatsoever right now, and I'm just excited to go home and spend some time with my family and open some gifts, because that's what I love to do. So,
I'm Matt. I'm a sophomore, and my teachers haven't really talked about my finals yet. But if I've learned anything from last year, it's that they'll mostly be online and not too difficult.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys for
Thanks.
joining us for this segment of the show. We're going to transition to our special guest song of the week, which is Everybody's Coming to My House by David Byrne. Here it is.
I wish I was a camera. I wish I was a postcard. I welcome you to my house. You didn't have to go far. A house and a garden. There's plants and trees. Make a closer inspection. If you get down on your knees. Now everybody's coming to my house, and I'm never gonna be alone. And everybody's coming to my house, and I'm never gonna go back home. I'm pointing and describing, and I can be your guide. The skin is just a roadmap. The view is very nice. Imagine looking at a picture. Imagine driving in a car. Imagine rolling down the window. Imagine opening the door. Everybody's coming to my house. Everybody's
That was Everybody's Coming to My House by David Byrne, and that was the pick of our special guest for this segment, Dean Jacqueline Reich from the School of Communications and Arts. I have her here with me today, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I guess I wanted to start out by asking you, what made you want to choose this song, and when did you first hear it?
Okay, so I'm a huge Talking Heads fan from college, like your dad, as you told me. Going back to high school, actually, not even college. And I chose this song not just because I really love the song, also because for me, songs are tied to memories. And I have really wonderful memories about this particular song. So I first heard the song when it came out because I was eagerly awaiting the release of American Utopia. And also had bought tickets to see David Byrne in Toronto that summer when they were touring before it opened on Broadway. Let me step back to 1983. I'm going to date myself. It was my first year of college, and it was my first semester, and I was up at Dartmouth. And a bunch of friends said to me, hey, we're going to take a road trip to see the Talking Heads at the University of Vermont. So I'm like, great, fun, I'm in. We all pile into a car and we go to, this was the Stop Making Sense tour. So I thought we were going to be in a stadium or something like that.
Big arena kind of thing.
Big arena kind of thing. No, we were in a gym, right?
Wow.
It was maybe 1,000 people in the gym. And David Byrne walks out and he puts down a boombox and he starts playing Psycho Killer, right? So for me, going to see David Byrne had these incredible memories of when I was 18 and went to see the Stop Making Sense tour. So then we keep going back to the song. I'll get there eventually about what I like about the song. So we bought tickets. My partner and now husband and I bought tickets to go see him in Toronto. It was August. That morning, right, that was a Thursday. The show was Saturday. We were flying out. We bought tickets. The heavens opened up. All flights were canceled. And we wouldn't be able to get there until Saturday and barely make it in time for the show. So we looked at each other and we said, road trip. And we went, we rented a car.
Wow.
And we drove to Toronto.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just so that we could see
It's quite the
David
drive
Byrne.
for you guys.
It was quite a drive. It was over 10 hours. We
Wow.
broke it up because we stopped somewhere in the middle. But we did go see it, and we had fifth row seats
Wow.
to see the concert version of American Utopia. Fast forward, he comes to Broadway,
Mhm.
and I bought tickets, and I went with my son
Oh,
to
wow.
see
Wow.
to see it. Also, really great orchestra seats and some friends of ours, and it was really amazing. So I highly recommend anybody going to see American Utopia. So what I liked about the song, and then I'll talk about the version that I shared with you. What I like about the song is it could be read in multiple ways, right? He wrote it as about his social anxiety, right? About how everybody's coming to his house and he's never going to be alone, right? Then at the show, he talked about how a group of high schoolers from Detroit, choir, had created their own version of it, and it really was not about that. It was about being together. And so during the pandemic, right, we were all stuck in our house,
Right.
and we all felt
Yeah.
super alone. And I listened to that song a lot because it made me realize that there's always two sides to everything, number one, and that number two, that there are always people out there with whom you can communicate and create a community. So that's why I love that song.
The quarantine kind of revitalized this song for you, could say.
Absolutely.
So now, when you're driving over to Marist in the morning, is this song, are you jamming to this song in the morning? Are you listening to a podcast or something? I mean,
I listen to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks because my commute's kind of long. So I'll put in a plug. I don't know if you know Pop Culture Happy Hour.
yes, NPR, yes.
I love
listen to
that.
one all the time,
I listened to that one. I just listened to their review of House of Gucci.
Oh, wow.
Which was really just hysterical. And I like it also because they give ideas about songs and things to listen to and podcasts, other podcasts, music, films, TV. Actually, one of the recommendations I'm watching right now, which is Love Life on HBO, which I really like.
Okay.
By the way. Highly recommend. But I will make a confession that I am partial to 80s music, right?
Right.
New Order, Talking Heads, whatever. And from 8:45 to about 9:15 every morning on First Wave on Sirius, they have this beat mix right? Breakfast beat mix.
Oh, wow.
And so I kind of sometimes, this True Confessions, groove to the breakfast beat mix on the way home. But I like to work out to this song, to that song.
Okay,
I
yeah.
do, it is on one of my Spotify workout playlists.
Very cool, very cool.
So I do like that.
Use it to kind of like get in the zone for a big meeting or something too.
I do.
Or,
I do. Or sometimes if I'm like feeling a little down, I'll listen to that song and it always picks me up.
Yeah. And that version that you sent me, I my first time seeing that version, it was really great to see that. And there's a backstory behind that too.
Well, yeah, so that was on Stephen Colbert.
Right.
And so Colbert's told a story of how he also, so he's my age.
Mhm.
So I think he was I want to say he was somewhere in either University of South Carolina or somewhere where he went to school. And he was about ready to go see the Talking Heads, same concert. But he had this big paper due. And he wasn't sure whether he should or shouldn't do it. And ultimately, he decided that he was going to stay home and work on the paper, and because that was the right thing to do. And then, so he does this, he participates in the song, and then at the end he says, "See, Scott, see?" And Scott was the friend that he was supposed to go to the concert with.
Wow.
So that's why I like that. That's why I like that episode, because it also kind of, he also was so into the Talking Heads and wanted to go see that concert. I'm sorry that he missed it, because it was really incredible. But then here he is, and he gets to perform with
Right.
David Byrne.
I know,
and
that's-
the,
wow.
and the accompanying band on his own show. So I think he did okay.
Yeah, he definitely did okay, I think. And I definitely recommend anybody listening to watch that video. Quite the entertaining video that David Byrne puts out there on the Colbert Show. Just to end things here, speaking of Marist, this is your first semester as a
Correct.
Dean of Communications. How have you liked it so far?
Oh, it's been great. I really like it. It's a new job for me. It's a challenging semester with everybody coming back, and we all lived through this incredible trauma and how we're all kind of trying to move forward with it. So that's been a challenging part of it, but I have really enjoyed things like this, meeting students, talking to students. I'm really excited about our new president.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a really great guy with a really interesting vision for the school. I was just leaving the office last night and I saw the tree and how gorgeous
Yes.
the tree is
yes.
right out my window.
They said a record number came out for the tree lighting, actually,
Was that right?
which
Oh,
is
that's
very
great.
fun.
That's great. No, and I'm really enjoying it, and I love the area, and it's a great place, great faculty, great students, great colleagues, all good.
Well, thank you so much for taking part in this interview, and best of luck with the future of Dean of Communications.
And you too.
All right, this brings us into our final topic of discussion for today, the sports on campus. So right now we're in the winter season. Men's and women's basketball is starting red hot right now. Men's basketball did lose a heartbreaker to Iona last night.
That was a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Choked that game right down to the wire too. I was so disappointed.
Very, very tough to watch. Very tough to watch. But the fall sports, they did have some success there. Bringing us to men's soccer. They went very far this year. So they ended up finishing the regular season with a record of 12-7-3, which it was their league best. They were the 1 seed in the MAC tournament, which was a huge shout out for Kyle Galloway, as he was the one who was awarded the MVP honors with a stat line of 3 goals, 2 assists, and he was going to be greatly missed for next season. He was a star for that team. He led that team. He ended up getting that game-winning goal against Ryder in the MAC championship.
I believe he did, yeah. And you can't forget about Matt Vigiano. This is his first MAC championship as head coach of the Red Foxes. He did help them back in 2005 as an assistant coach, but his first time as a head coach, this is a huge moment for his career. I'm personally interested to see if the team can transfer the success into next season. They have their leading goal scorer, Stephen Capetti, coming back, and also key rotation players like Joe Mack, Richard Moretti, and Liam Salmon. This is a team, they're losing some seniors, but they still have some key players from this MAC championship run that can help them lead to a back-to-back appearance next year.
Yeah, I do hear that you mentioned that Matt Vigiano was on the team in 2005 when they made it to the MAC championship as the assistant. But this is their first appearance since that 2005 appearance. They had been in 2000, 2004, and 2005 before this. And this is the first 1 seed to win the MAC championship since Fairfield did it back in 2017. They did, obviously they won, so that put them in the NCAA playoffs, where they ended up losing to Providence in that first game with a score of 1-0. It's a tough loss for that team, but they played their hearts out. Fantastic season, and just everyone on campus is proud of what they could have accomplished. Brian?
And they played with a lot of pride that game. You know, they had some chances, and you could definitely tell Providence just had the better team in this case. But, I was proud to watch Marist not back down in that game. And, of course, Providence, they went far into the tournament. They went into the third round and lost 4-1 to Georgetown about a week ago. So not too much to be upset about for this soccer season for Marist College.
Yeah, being a smaller Division I school, it is tough losing to those big teams. But being on that national stage against all those teams, it really does show how well they were able to perform.
And I think they'll really remember that moment winning the MAC championship. I was there. I saw that electric atmosphere. One of the better moments I think that team has seen in a long time, especially dramatic with penalty kicks at the end. I mean, storming the field. It was a really great moment, I think, for these fans.
Definitely, I couldn't agree more. Just being there, watching it unfold, there was just history in the making. That was a fantastic game, and kudos to that entire team.
Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for the first episode of The Basement. Thank you, everyone, for listening.